Hello everybody, this is Albert with Green Tea House. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to talk about teas to drink in the hot summer months. Now before we begin, if you haven't visited us in New Braunfels, Texas, halfway between Austin and San Antonio in a little hamlet called Green, please do so. Also subscribe right now and hit the notification bell if you haven't done so already. Post a comment if you like. I am suffering from a dental abscess right now, so my jaw hurts. But luckily, I'm cold sensitive, not hot, because that means I can keep drinking tea every day. Now, we do have an episode on teas that we gravitate, teas and tisanes, that we gravitate toward in the winter months. And obviously that came out when it was cooler, or at least Texas cooler. And now that we are in the midst of summer, let's talk about hot teas. Now, of course, there's going to be two different worlds when it comes to summer teas. The obvious one is going to be iced tea. Iced tea, of course, is black tea. It's largely CTC, crushed, torn, and curled black tea, which essentially is they'll pluck the leaves and they fully oxidize it, and then they're going to throw it in this roto machine that just pulverizes it into the sawdust. And if you don't believe me, just cut open your black tea bags, any type, just English breakfast, Earl Grey, and it's just going to be black pulverized stuff. But it's inferior grade. It's not orthodox. Orthodox is the higher level black teas. So a lot of people will be drinking iced teas in the summer. So we're not going to talk about that because that's an obvious one, especially in Texas and in the South. Iced tea is king. Certainly it's king more than hot teas. We're going to talk about hot teas. I am somebody who doesn't drink a lot of cold brew teas or iced tea in general. Like I'm not drinking Lipton or any of these things. Even when I go to a restaurant, I don't order iced tea. It's mostly because I am a little sensitive to caffeine and I don't eat out, and I fast every day till 3. So when I do eat out, if I do eat out, it's going to be at night, and when I eat dinner, and I don't want caffeine at that time. But in general, I like a good cold iced tea. But in general, I don't drink a lot of cold teas. I drink a lot of hot teas. So even in the summer months, I'm always drinking hot tea. So I've talked about it before, how like in the Chinese world and in the Ayurvedic world, the Indian folklore medicine, the Chinese folklore medicine, they've noticed these trends because they've been drinking tea for hundreds of years, if not millennia, really going back to the Bronze Age. They'll notice that in the winter, we tend to gravitate, and this is not shocking, toward the stronger, blacker teas. So roasted oolongs, so like Iron Goddess of Mercy, Oriental Beauty, those types, and then a lot of the black teas, and then the pu'er, which is a type of dark tea. This is not shocking because those teas tend to be, for lack of a better word, and this is not a correct word to use, warmer teas, but they tend to be more robust. And so when you think of like cold weather, you're not typically thinking, oh, I want to drink a gyokuro. No, you're like, oh, I want a good cinnamon spice, or I want a good Earl Grey with milk, or something like, or I want a pu'er, something like that. So conversely, in the summer, we tend to leave the blacks and the pu'ers and the stronger oolongs and go to the lighter teas of the 6 families of tea. So when I say we, I'm not talking about the typical Texan. What I'm saying is we, as in the tea drinking global community, will tend to drink more of the lighter teas. So for example, like in Vietnam and Korea, China, Japan, we're going to be drinking more of the greens, more of the whites, and the few people who do like yellows will be drinking the yellow teas, and then the lighter oolongs like the Taiwanese oolongs, like the Alashans, the Dongdings, stuff like that. And we gravitate toward those because they just have a lighter taste. Now, personally, I keep drinking my little rotation every day. It could be 104 in Texas, and I'm always drinking a pu'er right when I wake up around 5:45. And then I'll drink my first green tea when I get to the tea store, 8:30. And then I'll do the wild card rotation throughout the rest of the day, where it's either a white, an oolong, or a yellow, and I just kind of rotate that third one. That's me. And what I would tell you is, definitely in the summer, especially if you're not really familiar with the lighter teas, the green, white, yellows, drink them. The typical Texan is still like, I wouldn't say mired, but still gravitated toward the blacks because that's what they grew up with. That's our patrimony from England. It's totally understandable, but we need to veer off and try different things. This is why we do flights at the tea shop, so you can veer off. And really, I don't want you to veer off and get 4 different blacks when you do a flight. I want you to veer off and get a white, a yellow, oolong, green. So in the summer, I would really recommend you drink the greens. So you can drink these hot or cold. A lot of people like sencha with a little lemon, and you can put a little honey. Yes, tea purist, you could put honey in a green. Or get a dragon well or a gunpowder, or go the Japanese way and get a gyokuro, get matcha, whatever it is. we get the lighter teas, get the white teas, get the light oolongs, and this is what we tend to gravitate toward. But I would tell you, still drink your pu'er. You can throw out blacks. Like, I never drink blacks. You can throw out blacks for a good, especially in the South, 9 months of the year. Just blacks don't give you the antioxidant load, the polyphenol load, the catechin load that the greens and the whites and the yellows do. And they do have a decent amount of L-theanine, but green has the most. So really, there's no reason to be drinking black teas for much of the year. I know the English would be hating me right now for saying that, but you should still be drinking pu'er, because pu'er, of course, is fermented. It's really good for your microbiome. It's good for lowering cholesterol and weight and all these things. So in closing, what to drink in the summer? Drink your iced tea if you like it, preferably not with a lot of sugar, because of course sugar kills us, but really stretch out and drink just a wide variety of cultivars of different greens, whites, light oolongs, and yes, even yellows. Guys, drink them hot or cold. Post in the comments, what are your favorite teas to drink in the summer? Until next time, take care, God bless.